few minutes. See how many people join in. Hello. We got 2 people. We're going to be doing a core workout today, mixed with some total body movements. Get the heart rate going. Hope everybody's staying safe, happy, and healthy through this quarantine. Social distancing is a must, but try to get those workouts in when you can. Just going to wait a few minutes for some others to join. Then we'll walk through the workout. We're going to be doing 2 mini circuits. We're going to be doing 2 circuits with a 30-second rest in between each circuit for the first one, and then a 1-minute rest in between each circuit for the second circuit. I'm just going to wait a couple more minutes, give it to like 1:05, and then we'll get going on this. I do have my handy dandy cameraman here with me, Bradley, my boyfriend, so he'll be able to provide some better angles for you guys so it's not just in this fixed position. The way that I usually structure my core workouts, I usually try to incorporate the upper body somehow to get the upper abs involved, cross body stuff to get the cross-sectional areas of the muscle. Then I usually go to the side, the back, and then I hit the lower abs. So I really try to get nice and well-rounded throughout the workout, try to give muscles the ability to rest and recoup as we go through different exercises. So yeah, we're already up to 11 people, 12, woohoo! Who's ready for some core? Core is probably like one of the most important workouts in my opinion, especially when you're sedentary, just because your back typically tightens up when you're sitting long periods of time, as well as the hip flexors. I'm actually going to start off with a stretch before we get into the actual workout, just so nobody tweaks anything. Make sure we're nice and limbered up for some good movements today. All right, so I'm going to hand the camera off to my boyfriend, Brad, and he's going to kind of do a full circle walk around to show you guys kind of all the different angles of the stretches and such. Flip the cam. All right, so the first stretch we're going to do is one of my favorite stretches. It's a kneeling hip flexor stretch. So we're going to stretch the front of the hip just so your quads don't take over for your abs in the exercises that we want for the front of the core. So you're going to get into a lunge with the back leg nice and relaxed. You're going to keep the arm of the leg that's in front right on that hip just to keep your hips as square as possible. Then you're going to reach up as high as you can, thrusting your hip up towards the sky, clenching that butt cheek, keeping everything nice and tight here. And then you're going to reach over toward the leg that is in front. So kneeling hip flexor at the reach. We're going to hold this about 10 seconds. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. We're going to go ahead and switch sides. So, right angle here, this arm staying, hips square, back foot relaxed, reach up and over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. Now we're going to do a quad pull. I like to do my quad pulls lying down just because you have a little bit more control over your core. So what you're going to do is you're going to have one leg nice and straight, the leg that you're stretching, that's going to be the leg on top. You're going to grab that leg by the ankle. You're going to thrust your hip forward and clench your cheek. You're going to hold for about 10 seconds. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Let's do this side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. Now that we stretch out the hip flexors and quads a little bit, we're going to stretch out the lower back. Just typically when your back's really tight, which is very common when you're sedentary, the back will take over for some core exercises in the front. So we don't want that happening. We want to be able to isolate each area of the core as we go through the exercises. We got to make sure we stretch that back out. We're going to do a knee in. So you can either hold in between your legs like so, and you really want to try to round out your lower back. Bring your knees towards your chest and pull. Make sure you're breathing so your muscles have the chance to relax. Hold for about 15 seconds. A more intense way to do this is by grabbing the heels of the feet and then bringing the toes right over the face. 15 seconds, we're about 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, good. We're gonna go into one of my favorites, the thoracic spine stretch. So you're gonna go lie down, arms in a T formation, palms down, one leg over, and you're gonna try to touch that knee to the ground. You feel it right through your upper spine here, a little bit in the lower. So hold 5 seconds, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and the other side, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Most of you have probably seen most of these stretches in the last video that we did as a group. These are my all-time favorite stretches. If it's not broke, I'll fix it. So you're going to do some page turns now. Start with both legs bent to 90, and you're going to rock your knees to either side. Do about 5 each side. Really try to get a nice stretch at the bottom. You should feel this a little bit lower. And the last back stretch we're going to do is an erector stretch. Your erectors and muscles that directly surround your spine. So what you're going to do is have one leg straight. You're going to cross your other foot over at the knee of the leg that's straight. Then you're going to take your elbow and bring it to the outside of that knee. Get your chest up nice and tall, and you're going to push that knee push your elbow into your knee and rotate away. So hold for about 10 seconds. Feel it right in here. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, now that we are done with our stretching, we're going to get into the workout. Bradley, please pull out your phone and be a timer. So the first exercise is going to be a plank push-up. So it's going to work part of the upper abs, as well as testing some shoulder stability and some upper body strength and endurance. So we're going to do a plank push-up for 30 seconds as soon as my cameraman gets his timer ready.
All right.
Brad, you can't just hold it. Hold it in your phone.
All right.
All right, so to do the plank push-up, you're going to get in a push-up position, so arms right under the shoulders. For a little bit more stability at the lower body, you can have your feet about 6 inches apart. I like them all the way together, just because it challenges me to keep my core a little bit more stable. So you want to keep your core as stable as possible, minimize the rocking from side to side. Brad, go ahead and start the timer, 30 seconds on the clock, and go. You're going to drop down to the forearms and push back up to the hands. 30 seconds. As fast as you can go, trying to get some upper body endurance in here. Make sure you're controlling your breathing, minimizing the rocking of the hips, keeping everything nice and tense.
Five.
And done. All right. The next exercise is going to be a dead bug. If any of you have worked with any of the personal trainers at all, most of you should know this exercise. This is to work what I call the mama pouch, the lower abdomen, as well as some cross-sectional areas. So what you do is we're going to start with legs bent to 90 degrees. You want to make sure, most important part of any ab exercise is keeping your back flat the entire time. So push your back in, bring your legs up to the point where you feel your hip bones are on the ground. You're going to have your arms over your shoulder sockets, and you're going to alternate dropping opposite arm, opposite leg, keeping that back nice and flat. You should not be able to lift or slide any fingers under your lower back. So you're going to bring it back to the middle. This is also challenging your coordination and your brain. You're going to do 10 of these each side. If you feel like you're having trouble keeping your lower back flat as you straighten the leg and drop down, you can also keep it bent and drop down just like so. 9, and one more. 10, good. All right, so those are the dead bugs. Should have done 10 each side. The next exercise is going to be a side plank with a rotation. We're also going to do 10 of these each side. I'm quickly going to go through the different regressions. I'm going to go easiest to hardest, variations for leg positioning. So for any side plank, first and foremost, you want to make sure that there is no bend here. Everything needs to be nice and straight. So bring your legs back to the point where you have a straight line. The easiest way to do a side plank is legs bent at 90 degrees, right behind you, prop up on the knees just like so. The next way would be a staggered split stance. So one leg, the bottom leg bent at 90, top leg nice and straight. Make sure your knees are in line, everything's still nice and straight here. That's second easiest. From there, I usually go into a split stance. So this is second to hardest variation. You want your top leg in front, you want to go toe to heel, and then you're going to lift up like that. And then the hardest variation for leg positioning is feet all the way together, nice and stacked, just like so. So I am going to be doing the harder variation, stacked feet. I'm going to prop up. So think about pulling with the hips, pushing with the elbow, keeping those hips up as high as you can. You're going to take your arm, start up at a T, then you're going to wrap it under you, bring it as far back as you can, and then up. Rather get a different view. So 10 each side. 2, 3, 4, 6, 9, and 10. And I'm going to do the other side. Arm up in a T, wrap down and under. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. We are almost to our rest breaks. Anybody that is tuning in that trains with me, typically, I'm not big on rest breaks, want to keep the heart rate up, keep your muscles warm. So we'll get a 30-second rest after we go through all these exercises. So the next one is a reverse crunch. So you can either do this exercise with your arms by your side for something a little bit more stable. So I'll just show you that variation first. You're going to start either with your legs straight or your legs bent, up to you, personal preference, whatever helps you keep your back flat. So I'm going to start with straight legs. You're going to curl your legs up, get a little thrust, and try to bring your knees to your face or get as big of a thrust as you can. So if you can only go up to here, that's fine. Just try to get your legs curled in towards your chest best you can. So that's the easier variation of the reverse crunch. What I like to do to kind of get the whole abdomen group involved is grab something above head. This will allow you to hit your upper abs a little bit nicer. So hold here, legs straight, drive knees to face with a little thrust, nice and slow and lower. So we're going to do 10, 5, including the regression. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. Alrighty, and our last exercise is called a Frogger. So this is where the total body strength aspect comes in combination with some explosive movements. So first, the next exercise is called a Frogger. So what you're going to do is start in a push-up position, legs all the way together 6 inches apart. You're going to try to jump your feet to the outsides of your hands, like so. Then you're in a squatted position. You're going to come up just like this, drop back down, and that's your Frogger. So the regression for this one is going to be a double leg mountain climber. We're also going to do this for 30 seconds. So double leg mountain climber looks like this. You're just going to jump your legs, bring your knees towards your chest, as close to your hands as possible. So Brad, go ahead and start the timer. As many Froggers or double leg mountain climbers as you can do in 30 seconds. Ready, and go.
5.
Good. All right, then we get 30 seconds to rest. We're gonna go through that one more time. I have not been exercising as much as I should have, so I'm feeling this a little bit more than I should. Just gonna open a window. Whew. Everybody feeling good? If you have any questions, concerns, drop it in the comments and I'll get back to you about that. 30 seconds, how are we at? All right.
5.
Now, we're gonna go back to our plank push-up. Another 30 seconds, Brad, start the clock. And go. Make sure you're controlling your breathing. Minimizing the rocking of the hips, going as fast as you can. If you're not doing this on your feet, you can do it on your knees as well.
Done.
All right, let's go into our dead bugs. 10 each side. Wait a couple seconds. And then we're gonna get into our side plank with the rotation. So prop up and 10 each side. Up and under. Six, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Give you guys a couple seconds. Those ones are pretty hard. Challenges the shoulder stability for sure. Then we're gonna go right into our reverse crunches. Crunch in, back flat. If you can only keep your back flat with your legs going this low, that's as low as you should go. As soon as your back starts to come up, you're not working here, you're working there, and that's just gonna make any back pain that you may have worse. So just go within your range, whatever feels right to you. Don't try to kill it with range of motion if it's not working. So reverse crunches, give me 10. And 10 there. We're gonna go back into our froggers. Give it a couple seconds. Red timer, please. Ready? All right, let's get those froggers done. Double leg mountain climbers if the froggers are giving you trouble. 30 seconds, and go.
5 seconds. Done.
And good with those. All right, 30-second rest. And then we're gonna go into our next circuit. Whew. It is hot here in my tiny apartment. I hope some of you have air conditioning. All right, rest is over. We're gonna go into the next group of exercises. So the first one is gonna be a side-to-side push-up. You can do this on your knees. I'm gonna show you on the knees first. So just make sure if you're on the knees, your butt's not up in the air. You wanna thrust your hips towards the ground, but you don't wanna thrust them to the ground to the point where you have a niche in your back. See how that's arched? You wanna have it up just a little bit, try to get as nice and straight as possible. So for the side-to-side push-up, you're gonna do a push-up, walk over to the side, push up. And then I'm gonna do them with straight legs, just because I like a push-up challenge. So we're gonna do 5 each side. Side-to-side push-ups. All right, the next one's a V-up. So for the V-up, you're gonna start nice and long, back flat. So if you bring your legs up here to keep your back flat, that's fine. That's your start position. So you're gonna start everything nice and long, crunch in, get that core engaged, back flat. You're gonna bring your arms and your legs up simultaneously. You're gonna try to bring your hands as close to your toes as you can at the top. So I'm reaching towards my toes. It's gonna give you an extra contraction in the upper abs. We do 10 of these. 6, 7, 8, 9, and one more. Whew. 10. Wow, my abs are on fire. For a couple seconds. Those ones pretty hard. Should have drank more water this morning. Sweat up a storm. All right. So the next one is going to be a side dip. So we're going to get back into our side plank position, whichever position works for you in terms of leg positioning. Going to get into that position. And I usually put my hand up like this. You can also put your hand up on the hip or behind your back. You just want to have that shoulder rotating in. So everything nice and straight. Hips probably best, or hand up and back. Keep your shoulders pinched. You're going to dip your hip down towards the ground and up. So you're going to do 12 each side. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Good. And the other side. Dip the hip. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Whew. All right, after the side dips, the next plank variation is a plank toe tap. So this is just to hit the lower ab muscles a little bit better. It's going to incorporate the legs, obviously. So you can either do this on your hands for an easier variation. It will challenge your arm strength a little bit more, or you can do it on the elbows, which is just going to challenge your ab group a little bit more. So you're going to start with your feet all the way together. Then for the toe taps, you're going to do one foot as far out as you can. Bring it back, just like so. You're going to do 12 each side. Make sure your back's not sagging, your butt's not up too high. Try to get as straight as you possibly can. this one's one of my favorite exercises of all time. We're gonna do a 30-second time here, Brad, timer. So this one's called the snow angel, at least that's what I call it. Maybe you have to find the actual name for it. This is gonna work every muscle on the back end of you. It's kind of like a Superman, but a little bit more dynamic. So, you're gonna start in your belly, arms straight, legs straight. You're gonna lift your arms and your legs up. You're gonna stay up the whole time. When the timer starts for the snow angel, you're gonna keep your chin tucked, and you're gonna go out and in as many times as you can in that 30 seconds, keeping your toes pointed away, to keep the hamstrings engaged and the chin tucked down to keep your neck muscles out of it. Brad, timer?
Go. Five.
And done. Good. All right, and for our last exercise of this circuit, we're gonna do some star jumps. So to do a star jump, you're gonna have your legs a little bit more than shoulder width apart. You wanna get down into a sumo squat. You're gonna touch the ground, or you can touch your feet. Personal preference, I like to touch the ground because it's in the center of my body. So you're gonna touch the ground, you're gonna jump up into a star. Touch the ground, up. So you're gonna do 12 of these. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Those are your star jumps. We get a 1 minute rest. Since these exercises are a little bit harder in the first round, one more time through, and we'll call it good. Woo! Today's workout's only going to be a little bit over half an hour. Next Thursday, I'm going to do a full hour. More static movements, progressing to more dynamic, explosive movements. Today was just kind of a combination, mostly dynamic, couple of stability, static exercises. The exercises will get harder as the weeks go by. All right, so let's go back to our side-to-side push-ups. 5 each side. Pinch your shoulders as you come down. 2. We're going to go right into our V-ups. Of these. Whew. 10 of those. We'll go to our side dips. Everything's straight. A lot of people struggle with side dips, side planks, because of elbow positioning. So make sure when you're doing these, your elbow's right under your shoulder. Too far above is going to stretch the shoulder out. Too far below is going to not give you enough stability. So dip the hip. 3, 12 each side. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. After your side dips is the toe taps, 12 each side there. well. Good. After the toe taps, we're back into the snow angels. 30-second timer, Brad. Let's go. Ready?
Go.
And go. And done. Okay. All right, and our last exercise, 10 star jumps, and then we are done, folks. So let's get back into that squat, touching the ground, explode up into a star. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Woohoo! We are done. I am dead. Hopefully you guys got a good workout as well. Hopefully you guys got a good workout as well. Leave any questions, concerns in the comments, and I'll get back to you. Otherwise, stay tuned next week, same time. Whew. Have a good day, everybody.